We mentioned the security plan because this is very simple. It's for people who are distressed, maybe who are suicidal, maybe who want to harm themselves one way or another. Maybe they want to harm somebody else because they're so angry and frustrated and whatever. And it's about, obviously you do this as often as is necessary. And again, it's focused on the person's resources. What can they do that might help them feel a little more secure in themselves? And it's a rehearsal for self-management. And one of the people in our evaluation said it was a hope line to the future. Now, this goes back to the leaking roof. In our experience, I don't know what it's like here in Switzerland, but certainly in Scotland, if somebody is suicidal, they get put on suicide watch. If somebody is self-harming, they get put on observation to make sure they don't harm themselves. It's a complete waste of time. A complete and utter waste of time. Yeah, the person will not be able to kill themselves or harm anybody else, but then as soon as you relieve the observation, they're free to do whatever they like. And the statistics show this, that people who are suicidal come out of hospital, they don't kill themselves, but huge numbers of them kill themselves within a week of being discharged. We need to focus on, what's going on, behind the scenes in the person's head. And we realize you can keep somebody safe, but like that man who was alone with these voices, he couldn't do anything to himself, he couldn't do anything to anybody else, but he was alone with these voices. And so we want to try and help the person work out how they can feel a little bit better in themselves, even a little bit better, right? And so we ask people, what have you done in the past? Or what have you thought about doing that might help you feel more safe and secure? And so you're hearing these voices that tell you you're an absolutely useless piece of shit, right? And that the best thing you could do is just to get rid of yourself because you're just a total drain on everybody, right? And you've been hearing this maybe for years, right? How do you live with that? What sort of things do you do just to keep going, right? And the more you explain to me, the more you may understand better what that is and what you need to do. Also, what things have you thought about doing that you haven't yet done, right? What sort of things maybe have you read about or heard other people talking about, right, to try and deal with something? Right? These are things that belong to you, and then we will talk about, how you might build them into your everyday life, right? But the important thing is we've planted that here. But then we've begun by saying, gee, how long have you heard those voices? You say 20 years. Gee, I don't know what that could be like. How do you just get by? How do you do that? We're too busy to rush in and saying, I tell you what you should do, put earphones on, play some nice relaxing music. Get a life. What's the point in doing that? Or what I did, I used to hear voices, and what I did was, who's interested in what you did, right? Because what works for you may be completely useless for you. Now, that doesn't mean to say you can't share things and learn from other people, as we said earlier, but you always begin by saying, giving back the person's own power. How do you live with that? Right. Also, we then ask, what might other people do that might help you with this, help you feel more safe and secure? What could I do? What could other members of the team do? What could some of the people you've told me about, your friends, your family, your neighbours? Dead simple.